morning after the fire, the chaos still hangs in the air, smoke curling from broken windows, ash drifting like snow along the alley outside what was once the home of Snitchy and his daughter. The streets echo with shouted orders and alarm bells as the city guard arrives in force, joined by clerics and finally grim-faced paladins of the Order of the Iron Soul. Inside the ruined building, what began as an attempt to break into a barricaded room devolved rapidly into a catastrophe. When the door resisted brute force, blocked by what appeared to be a stone bookcase, Saladin and Zethian turned to more explosive means. Alcohol from shattered bottles, spread across the floor, caught the first wave of fire. The second wave was worse. They had barely begun dousing flames on their retreat when Theodore, newly disguised through magic to resemble a fireman, rejoined them in time to witness the full extent of the inferno. They emerge from the smoldering wreck just as cries ring out for the fire brigade and the city guard, who are already storming the street with their weapons drawn. Panic sets in when someone yells that a child may have been inside. Among the approaching guards is a towering female Goliath, someone Saladin recognizes but does not greet. They attempt to explain. They came back from the beach with Roland Snitchy and discovered the fire already burning. They had tried to help. Their words fall on skeptical ears. The guards detain them on the spot. With the situation deteriorating, it becomes clear that Teylek has once again been taken into custody. Now all three of them, Saladin, Zethian, and Theodore, are treated as suspects. The Paladins have invoked magical means to investigate, including plans to inspect Saladin's armor in the morning, likely to identify arcane tampering. Despite the tension, Theodore avoids immediate arrest. He attempts to visit his friends, but by then the guards have begun formal proceedings. The following morning, the cell doors open. A dwarf clad in ceremonial gray steel armor arrives, one of Celior's Truthbearers bearing a polished spiked mace and a shield emblazoned with the scales of justice. He introduces himself only briefly. His presence signals that a tribunal is being held under the authority of Celior. This is no ordinary interrogation. This is a reckoning. Charges are laid out, issuing threats to civilians, instigating a fire in a public building, contributing to the deaths of a guard, the tavern's Triton owner, and possibly a child. The charges are severe, and under the influence of Zone of Truth, no lies can be offered in their defense. Teylek, under the spell's influence, begins explaining everything. Their earlier run-ins, connections to suspicious activity, and their motivations for investigating the scene. He confirms that both Roland and Serena Western had been present and that the group suspected them of criminal activity. The cleric overseeing the questioning takes extensive notes. It is unclear how the paladins will interpret their honesty, but the damage may already be done. When Theodore returns later, seeking out Seraphina for more answers, he finds the Celior arbiter already departing. On Seraphina's desk are 3 bodies, one of a guard, one of the Triton tavern owner, and heartbreakingly, a child. Their presence in the back office suggests they never had a chance to escape. The 2 mercenaries who had originally attacked the group are nowhere to be found. Sanguine, the more volatile of the 2, has disappeared entirely. Despite their reckless honesty, their story seems to have worked. The paladins release them, under conditions. One misstep, one further disturbance, and they will face the full weight of the charges they've temporarily walked free from. For now they are out. Probation in all but name. Saladin, silent as they make their way back toward the broken keg, begins to consider his next move. There are too many loose threads, and perhaps it's time he had a word with Memunkin before someone else decides for him whether he's a hero or a villain.